What it do, naysayers? We are back for another edition of the Aftershow Podcast, brightening up your Sunday
Whew.
evenings.
It sounded like "bless the fall."
I don't know what those words mean.
It's a band.
I assumed it was.
Yeah, that was unexpected.
What do you mean?
I didn't know that you were going to change up the song.
That was the
Had a
usual
little
song.
metal.
That was usually your song, was it?
Yeah, it's a new one. I like it. I mean, it's pretty cool. I like the other one more. I'm going to be honest. Even though that's more like the type of music I listen to, the other one is like, they're both good, but the other one I think is a little catchier.
Yeah, I prefer. After you forced me to listen to Kill Switch Engage, I got more into that vibe and wanted that to represent the intro.
Well, I appreciate that you liked the Kill Switch. What like just give me a heads up. Like, what did you just listen to like a mix or?
I started on an album, listened to a little bit. I really enjoyed. I ended up adding some to my favorite playlist. So big honor.
Nice.
I ended up adding Numbered Days, Fixation on the Darkness, Rosa Sharon, and A Bid Farewell.
Rosa Sharon is like such an important song to me. But that's a good mix. And actually, Fixation on the Darkness, I am in that video.
Really?
It was the first video they filmed right when Howard joined the band, and it was at Fat Cats in Springfield, Mass. But yeah, I'm actually. It's like it's hard to see me, but if you know I'm there, you know it's me. You know what I mean?
I understand.
Because I was right there in the crowd. I have pictures from that show. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
You're basically the Forrest Gump of metal.
Yeah. He'll get to End of Heartache at some point. End of Heartache, I believe, was like Emmy nominated. But yeah, Killswitch, they're like an awesome band. Awesome band. Yeah. So
yeah, I appreciate it. What's up, chat? The chat is chatting. A lot of chatting. Cloud, congratulations on being first. What's up, Steven? We got Why So Mad, Old Man Eastwood, Travis in the building, JayShockblast in the chat as well. As here, he's pulling double duty. Who got American Werewolf over on the Twitch side, as well as Idgecast over on the Twitch side. What's up, Jay? Another Jay. Marvel, appreciate all you guys. What's up, Lottie? Appreciate y'all hanging out on this Sunday evening, on this Lord's Day of Rest. Some things happened in the last week.
It's been a crazy week.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff Grubb was right. Let's once again give him his flowers. He was right again. State of Play happened on the 24th, right on the dot, as you said. Funny enough, the very large chunk of the State of Play list of games were leaked ahead of time by PlayStation. they planned on having a State of Play section in the PlayStation Store, and they ended up adding 15 of the games there early before the show even started. So and then the Soul Reaver remastered had leaked early as well. So going into the State of Play, we knew pretty much most of what was going to be happening. At least anyone who was watching my stream was forewarned about what to expect. But we had some surprises, some big surprises that we'll get.
Before we go too far, I want to actually talk about this. Part of my initial pitch was that, by the way, this is free. I'm giving this to you, so I will never get royalties, but I will maybe ask for like an executive producer credit.
Yeah,
also, which costs them nothing.
Also, I don't believe he would be eligible for royalties because he doesn't own the intellectual property.
Right. Well, here's one of the things though. Like, I think something that a lot of people don't understand when you try to pitch your ideas, like on Twitter, you'll see people all the time. Oh, like you should make a game about this.
Yeah.
It's going in one ear and out the other, not because it's not a good idea, but for that exact reason. They don't want
A lawsuit.
state-
Waste. Yeah. Depending on what it is, like of course we had that whole situation where that guy was suing WB because he claimed that their Matt Reeves Batman movie was a concept that he had written, because he was apparently had been attempting to make it as a Hollywood script writer back in the day, and he said, his script had a lot of the same elements that they ended up using in the Batman. I don't believe that went anywhere, but yeah, it's just something that companies don't want to
careful about.
They just don't want to have that potentially be out there. Like, obviously you can't, if you said, hey, you should make a Superman, or they're fine that, because that's not a concept that you can claim. But if you said, hey, you should make a Superman game where he's working at a nuclear power plant, he's been in hiding for a certain amount of time, like that. Like, when you start getting into specifics, then there's like, okay, well, we can't do anything with here. We're not going to listen to you.
Yeah. Well, PlayStation Direct. What was it? PlayStation.
Yeah. So we had the State of Play. We had the Tokyo Game Show. We had the collapse of Ubisoft. A lot happened this week that we'll get into. We even had a surprise Suicide Squad DLC announcement. So
yeah, like I feel like that came out of nowhere, and maybe it's because we're not paying as close attention anymore.
That legitimately, I knew we were getting closer. I guess it's part of that, because it did come about relatively fast, like, because I think in our minds we were thinking, oh well, they've been delayed on all their other stuff, so we weren't expecting the turnaround. But when you factor in that, they stripped down the content so they can get the stuff out cleanly, and they also pretty much abandoned most of their marketing efforts, it makes sense that they're able to have a faster turnaround on this stuff. So
Deadshot by Christmas,
Deathstroke by Christmas, I think,
Deathstroke,
I think, because before, at the pace they were going before, he was definitely not getting out until 2025. But with Lawless dropping in a couple of days, they're right there, like, because the only thing after her is the mid-season update, which is on their normal schedule 6 weeks, and then another 6 weeks, and you've got Deathstroke. So they should have him by December.
Not that one. I guess real quick before we move on to our scheduled programming, I would say, as somebody that got to watch a presentation, what's up, Lejeune? I got to watch a presentation on both games at Summer Game Fest.
He did.
And I personally, if I had to choose between the two, would pick Veilguard, only because I love Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition. And I've never had great luck with the Monster Hunter games. I will definitely be getting Veilguard. And it's actually something cool that I saw at Walmart. They have like a little collector pack you can get.
Mm-hmm.
It's like $40, comes with a steel book and like a couple other little collectibles. It's basically like their collector's edition without the game. So like, I love it when games do that, because I can get the steel book, which I want, and I can buy it digitally if I have to.
Of course.
And it's like the best of both worlds.
Right.
I don't need a disc.
Yeah, discs are for old people.
Yeah. Like, I don't mind. I like getting physical, because I got that huge collection back there.
Jay's very physical.
But I just think it's cool. Like Redfall did it, Starfield did it,
Yeah. I'm planning on getting both. I don't probably end up buying Veilguard, but I am in the Capcom Creator Program, so I will be getting my hands on that early. So I'm looking forward to Monster Hunter Wilds. I haven't gotten too deep into the Monster Hunter series before, but I did get like pretty deep into Dauntless, which is like a light version of Monster Hunter. That went out, I think, finally shut down, but for a bit it was pretty popular, and me and my friends were like obsessed with it, and it's basically the same premise. So I really am looking forward to Monster Hunter Wilds. The more I see it, the fights look really crazy. I love how open and explorable the environments were. It might be some, like I've heard some mixed things about the performance on the base PS5, but I would take those with a grain of salt. We do know that according to Digital Foundry, it runs beautifully on the PS5 Pro. According to them, pretty much everything ran beautifully on the PS5 Pro. They said it was definitely a top tier.
Speaking of the PS5 Pro, still available for pre-order.
Still available. Yeah, I didn't even try to get it on pre-order day with the 30th anniversary. I was like,
I was watching Twitter. I got in the queue just in case, because I figured if I could get that thing, like I was gonna buy it, and I would just sell the extras to pay for the actual console. Just because I wanted that bundle.
yeah,
And I saw everybody else, because you just, their thing is weird. It like just randomly puts you in a queue. Okay. And I saw everybody like, oh, I'm in the queue now. It's an hour queue. Like I think Grub was like, oh, it says my queue is an hour. I got in the queue, it said 8 minutes. So like I got pretty heavy, like pretty up close in the line. And it was sold out by the time I hit the pay screen, you know?
yeah. I mean, I figured as soon as I realized that it was going to be only through PlayStation Direct, I was like, okay, well, it's going to be limited supply. The website is going to be a shit show. I'm just not going to bother.
Yeah. So I'm gonna end up getting it through Best Buy when it goes on sale, because with my Best Buy card, if you spend over $500 on anything in October, you get a $50 like gift card or something. So I might as well get the
Yeah,
extra $50. You know what I mean?
yeah, might as well. I'm just gonna wait because it's not like pre-ordering immediately is for suckers. I can wait. Plus, I'm
Doesn't
still
cost anything up front for me.
yeah,
So
it doesn't matter. So plus I'm still holding out hope that
yeah, I get that.
that my Sony
One
contact
shows up.
my Sony contact will come through with the with the promotional PS5 Pro for me.
It's weird. Like I would say, oh, pipe dream, but like for Lego Star Wars, I randomly got an Xbox Series S from them,
Yeah.
and I did I did once win. It's actually the anniversary of it, like within the last week or two. I won an Xbox One X, like a solo, like Star Wars solo, Xbox One X from Best Buy. Like it was so weird. I posted like an unboxing of the
Mm-hmm.
solo steelbook, and they like responded to that tweet like, what's even better? A solo Xbox One X. And I'm like, oh, are you trying to tell me I just won? And he goes, yup.
Wow.
Like, oh, and it's back there. You can
Dr-
kind of, it's behind Eagly.
Man is drowning in privilege.
Yeah,
Wow.
it is weird. And you know what's even weirder is a guy I know that worked on like a Battlefield website, that lives like a couple towns over, also won one from
Mhm.
Xbox.
I haven't got anything of value yet equaling a PS5 Pro, but they still Sony still hooked me up with some stuff.
Ugh.
I still got my Warby Parkers, my plate and controller, and plus a copy of the game. So
Hey,
uh, I,
look,
I've,
big
I,
wins, big
I've
wins.
I've leveled up since then. So maybe they'll look at your boy.
I hope so. I'm rooting for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that
Listen, I want everybody to pay as little as possible.
yeah, 700,
I know
700
I have
is
got no
crazy.
shot, so I want it. I already got my drive. So I'm just gonna just pre-order it from Best Buy, and
Is there?
yeah.
But I did enjoy. We have said before that the PS5 Pro was going to sell regardless, but the level of hype was definitely going to be influenced by the quality of the state of play, and there's obviously always something to complain about with these state of plays, especially since a lot of people have kind of a mindset of if they don't have the specific thing that they want, the entire showcase is bad. But the state of play, I think, definitely pulled it together. It had a couple surprises, a couple good I thought presentations, but obviously the star of the show, Ghost of Yotei, the follow up to Sucker Punch. I was literally hyperventilating
I
on
was there watching,
stream.
and I was hyperventilating off stream.
Well,
Man, what a clusterfuck that's turned into, though. And you
uh,
knew it would, but
yeah, as soon as I realized the main character was a woman, I was like, here we fucking go. Like, God, these absolute losers. They can't they try to just ruin the fun in everything. Like we were hoping, on the off chance that, I thought maybe Insomniac probably won't be, like, we probably wouldn't see any Wolverine. I think that's not going to be until like next year. So I was like, well, based on what I'm hearing about their plans next year, I think the next Ghost of Tsushima will probably come out in 2025. So I thought it was a decent shot. We could see it to stay of play. Glad that ended up paying out, and just to see just it kind of get slightly overshadowed by these fucking oxygen thieves is just really annoying. Really annoying, especially the all the fake ones that are pretending like they were big fans of the series
right.
when it's very obvious they never played the first one.
So when we talked about this last week, I said that I don't think it's going to be Jin Sakai again. I thought it was going to be something like Ghost of Osaka or something like
Yeah,
that. I didn't know that they would like go so far in the future. I thought it'd be in the same timeline, maybe, or the same time frame.
yeah.
But like the reason I'm not disappointed at all, as somebody that's actually met Daisuke Tsuji, and has a huge statue of him behind me. Like, I never expected Jin to be the star of the next one. I thought we would just see a different part of Japan, experience a little bit of a different
Mm.
story. Sure, a little. I get some aspect of like, oh, it's a female samurai in 1600s Japan,
Not even a samurai.
whatever it may be. Yeah, yeah.
From what we could tell, she's a Ronin.
Okay. Yeah, my vernacular obviously off there, but you know what I mean. But like, let's not act like we didn't see that in the last game.
Yuna, Lady Masako. That's why Lady Masako. That's why I was
Yeah.
saying, like, these people didn't even play the first game.
Yeah, like she was like the leader of her house basically,
Yeah.
So I just feel like it's weird. Like it's almost like we've seen, like, never seen this before, you know what I mean? Like Assassin's Creed, okay? Every Assassin's Creed, most Assassin's Creeds had a different protagonist, okay? Like we've done this before. It's not like
And
like
they've confirmed plans that they're going to have kind of an anthology approach where they're just going to have different stories with different protagonists.
yeah, and it's like 300 years in the future, so it's cool,
Yeah, I had no problem. I was more focused on the trailer. Unfortunately, there are people who would just who have brain rot, and
Yeah.
they are just incapable of just judging games by anything other than, okay, what are the demographics? Is it, oh, what is that, a woman? Hold on. Oh, like, especially the grifters, because rent is due, so they're always on the lookout for an opportunity to grift off or something.
Yeah, I just feel like everybody's mad about everything these days, Like, they just spend all their time, you know, like worrying about things that aren't important, you know? And it's like, it's such a stupid thing to be mad about. Like, I'm sorry you can't clap her cheeks, okay? What are we doing here?
Yeah,
Just
not that it will ever be a pop. Like she's not real.
right, it's a video game.
But you knew that first of all, you knew the backlash wouldn't have been there if she looked like Stellar Bleed, Eve from Stellar Bleed.
Have
Like,
we even actually seen her face? I'm sure she's
yeah,
hot.
we've seen her face.
But we saw like part of it, like, or I
Uh,
don't remember if we got like a whole shot.
we did
Okay.
at the end, and she just looks like a normal woman. You
Yeah,
know,
from
they did,
Japan.
yeah, in the 1600s.
Yeah.
but but they were like, ooh, like the funniest excuse they tried to give to justify their sexism was to say, oh, well, I just love I just want the realism. It's not real. You know, the first game was so realistic. Having a female in the lead just not it's not realistic. Like, all right, so that tells me you definitely didn't play the first game.
Right, exactly.
Like,
Exactly. Like
well,
we had prominent female characters leading their house, you know.
also, Jen has fucking super speed. Like in the first game, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
Like you, like not only can he parry arrows no matter what, just with perfect precision, but he learns a special move where he can effectively teleport across the battlefield and cut you in half.
Yeah.
Like what are we talking about?
I mean, this is one of my top 5 games of all time. I'm so excited. I don't like honestly, I don't care. They could have been you could have had Tom Cruise as the star of this game and I would have played it, you know?
And they definitely wouldn't have been complaining if it was the case. Like
I bet different people would complain, but
different
you know,
people.
I get it, but like
But that's what's funny though. They don't realize they're the exact same people as the ones they're bitching about.
right. But
Like,
like but that's the thing, and that's the same thing with like Assassin's Creed Shadows, right? Okay. Even if all right, there's skepticism on Yasuke existing, okay? All right.
well,
There's
not existing. The specific role
right, right. Okay.
how high his rank
But
how
what
high
is
his
the
rank was.
folklore around it? You know what I mean? Like, we don't have to be specific. None of us were there. We know it's not documented properly. We can speculate, but even like the biggest of speculation, uh, like you don't know that that's true either. So like, what does it matter? Like, we literally played all these other Assassin's Creed games where like Eivor is supposed to be Odin. Okay, like we literally went to Valhalla and you know all these different places in the last one. You know, you're dealing with all this
Yeah.
mythology, all this Greek mythology. I fought a Cyclops in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I hate to break it to you, there weren't really Cyclops.
Yeah, but
Uh,
the problem with Jay is that that's okay because the Cyclops wasn't black. But once you
right, right.
get it once we get into that, well, whoa, the historical accurate, and that's the funny thing. Even even if there's debate about what was he a samurai, Japan built a fucking statue of him.
Yeah,
He's in museums. Japanese movies, anime, video games for decades have portrayed him as a samurai.
right.
Like it's
Yeah.
like
Well,
these are facts. They're pretending like Ubisoft just made him up.
yeah, like and like he was in a lot of other anime too, right?
Yeah,
And stuff like that.
like yeah, like
Yeah, fight Anubis on flaming horns. Exactly.
like what are we talking
Exactly.
about?
I was about to get into origins, you know? Like no matter what you freaking Da Vinci apparently created a plane, you know? Like there's so many different like crazy takes on history that we've seen in these Assassin's Creed games. Why is it the black guy in Japan that probably existed and is a huge part of folklore? Like, why is that so ridiculous? You know, oh, is it because you're forced to play as him? Well, it's not the first time. I mean, but there haven't most of the protagonists in these Assassin's Creed games have been white. Like, I think there was the Adewale, something like that, but that was like a PS Vita game,
Mhm.
or it was one of the like handheld versions. So like I can't even
Yeah.
think of any other.
And
I
then
mean, of
it didn't even get outside of a Assassin's Creed, like Neo, which is a samurai game.
had Yasuke, made by
Had
Japanese
not,
creators.
not only had they had Yasuke, the main character was white. He was based on Ajin.
Yeah,
like, like what are we talking about?
yeah. So it's just
so,
weird to
so
me, man.
it's
Like,
selective outreach.
yeah, yeah. So like, why is it such a big deal? I don't get it. Oh, I'm sorry you're not playing as a Japanese dude. Okay,
but
go play Ghost of Tsushima.
it's not like there's not a Japanese character, but it's like, oh, but she's a woman.
Right. It's the double whammy. Oh, it's a woman and a black samurai? We can't have that.
Oh, that's unacceptable. It's not historically there's valid criticism about their attention to detail when it comes to historical, actually specifically in their promotional material. But the just having Yasuke there there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, regardless of what you think their motivations are. I think by far the bigger issue, yeah, and the reason why they ended up delaying the game is because it just wasn't in an acceptable state. They realized with the Outlaws that they can't necessarily just rely on the IP to just sell the game. Like if it's not in a great state, because a lot of people had issues with Outlaws for its polish, and I'm hearing, Assassin's Creed Shadows just wasn't in a good state, and rather than
Yeah.
the usual, well, we'll just fix it later, they were just like, all right,
And that's good.
let's take some accounting. They issued refunds. They are making it available on Steam day one. They're going to be doing more polishing. They're giving, like, I think, the first expansion for free. So they're definitely making some changes for the better, because obviously they don't want that stock price to keep going down. And, yeah.
Here is one thing that I do hope comes from it though. And Star Wars is weird because if you think about like a lot of the Star Wars games that have come out,
Mm.
it always features like kind of a new character.
Yeah.
Cal Kestis in the Jedi games. Even back to Knights of the Old Republic, nobody knew who any of those characters were.
Or
It's a whole new timeline.
Force Unleashed, but
Force
yeah,
Unleashed.
but the difference being is that is people weren't necessarily concerned about the characters being original. First of all, obviously Force Unleashed, just Jedi Fallen Order, male protagonist, but also they're Jedi, and
Right.
people didn't really care who it was. They just thought Jedis are fucking cool. I want to play a Star Wars game where I get to twirl around my lightsaber and force choke people.
Sure. And I think it was also because it was so tied to Darth Vader
Yeah.
in a lot of ways. But like I feel like I hope that this, and maybe even like to another extent Suicide Squad,
Mm.
and some of these licensed character games like that Star Wars and DC and
Right.
lesser extent Marvel have been putting out, like that these people higher up can see, like, even I guess Gotham Knights to a lesser extent, even though I feel like those characters should have been big enough to draw attention, that people can start realizing, oh, they don't want a game about I already forgot her name.
K-Vess.
K-Vess.
Bigot.
They don't want a K-Vess game. They want a Han Solo game. They
Honestly, I
want a
don't think.
Mandalorian game.
Honestly, I don't think it would have, if you just had the pretty much the same game, but you inserted Han Solo. I don't think it would have done that much better. I obviously it wouldn't have had, obviously it wouldn't have had the culture war, crybabies, but I think the game itself, I think the issue itself was the game. Like, I think Han Solo would have definitely sold them some more copies, but I don't think it would have hit the. I don't think they would hit their sales goal if everything else in the game was the same, because a lot of people really just didn't enjoy the combat in the mission design, uh, and they just complained about the lack of polish. And I think that was definitely valid, because people, Star Wars fans up to this point, were used to Jedi games,
Yeah.
or like a game where you're flying in space, if anything like that. And now this is like an open world Star Wars game, but the combat, you don't have force powers, you're not a Mandalorian. It's just a lot of sneaking around
Yeah.
and shooting with a blaster.
And I get that. And I just look at like even Suicide Squad to an extent. Yeah, you got Harley Quinn, who is probably as big a character as there is in DC right now.
Not
But
named,
like
not named Batman.
right, but you've got like King Shark, who, all right, we laughed at Stallone, but then you got Deadshot, who yeah, sure, Will Smith, but
That's pretty much the only reasons there.
right.
Like, no one knew who that fucking character was
And
until
then Boomerang, you know what I mean? So
until
like,
this.
so that's a tough sell too at the start. So I just hope, that the next time we're seeing a Star Wars game, we are seeing, the Mandalorian, or we are
Yeah.
seeing something more prominent. It doesn't have to be a Jedi game, but man, I think back to that Star Wars 1313 game. Like, I think if they could have ever pulled that off, that game would have been so good.
Yeah. And I think the reason why the Jedi thing is popular is because what some studios, and I think Ubisoft kind of underestimated here, is that gameplay is really important. Like, the way a game feels is extremely important. Like, Black Myth Wukong has its issues, but the main thing people enjoy and rave about is that it feels great to play. They love the combat system. They love how responsive it is. They love the enemy design. It's a game that they love, and it feels good to play. And when you have a game like Outlaws, where the gameplay is the worst part of the game, that's a problem. Like, you can't overlook that. Like, I love the world design. I love the exploring. I really love the story, particularly once it picked up after you got that first planet, because it does drag a bit, because they're obviously doing a lot of setup. They got to do all the open world obligatory BS, but once you really get through it, the story just gets better and better. But the actual combat and gameplay parts of it are not the highlights, which is an issue. And usually that wasn't the case. Like Jedi Survivor, best part of that game was was the combat. Fallen Order, I thought, had a better story, but again, highlight was the combat. The combat will carry you a lot of way, and if you don't nail that, that's going to be a really big issue, especially if the rest of the game like isn't super extraordinary to compensate in any way. So I think that's the lesson they should take there going forward. Polish your games and really hyper focus on the gameplay elements, because the pedigree should have been there. I mean, this was a stealth game from Ubisoft,
Right.
the masters of stealth games, made by the studio that made The Division, and which should be high tier gunplay and cover fire, and none of that shown through in the game.
Dude, you're speaking my love language right here, Darth Seth. The Rule of Two with Darth Bane. I don't read a lot of books, all right, but the Darth Bane trilogy was sick, all right, and they kind of left it at an interesting point where you don't know who survived between him and Zara.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. So, Darth Bane was awesome. I mean, I don't know if we'll ever go back to that, because I don't know that. Well, he was in an episode of Rebels, so maybe.
Anything's possible. I mean, we're finally hearing rumblings that Cal Kestis is finally getting a fucking Disney Plus show. Like,
That'd
about
be
time.
dope. Yeah, and they, yeah, I don't know. There's just so many different options, and it doesn't have to be a Skywalker saga
Yeah.
story. Like, and it doesn't have to be a character that we know. But
You
I
gotta be
do,
you gotta be real careful what you choose. It could be original character, but you gotta think long and hard about what that combat is going to look like.
yeah, and I feel like they did do an okay job in Outlaws of incorporating like Jabba and Bib
Yeah,
Fortuna, but like you see a little bit of Lando, and then you see a little bit of the big guy, but
yeah,
like I don't know that it was enough. I do feel like though, as far as an open world Star Wars game, it was incredible.
yeah.
Like
100%.
visually, like this is what a Star Wars open world game should feel like being here and being out in these environments. But and I liked the game a lot. I just didn't love the stealthy stuff, and
Yeah,
I don't know. I do feel like it was a little bit behind the eight ball. But I think the main point I'm making is there used to be a time where everybody thought we could throw the Star Wars name in front of it. We could throw, the DC Comics or
mm,
even the Rocksteady name in front of
yeah.
it, and people are just gonna buy it. And now they just,
No, yeah,
you
because
know,
times have changed. Like, that's why I always laugh at people when occasionally I see people say, "Oh, there's no games." I'm like, no, this is the best time there's ever been to be a gamer because of the fact that there are a lot of games, so many games, all
people just want to
more,
bitch about all of them.
yeah, more games than you can possibly play are releasing every year, and when you when you have that landscape, it becomes, especially with the live service games that have lasted, it could always drag people's attention away. You have to have something to hook people when you're dropping a new game. You can't just put out something that's okay and expect it to do well. Like Immortals of Avium, from everything I tell, like I played it a little bit. I'm like, and it was fine,
Yeah,
but I mean, that's the place it dropped in 2023, one of the best years in gaming history. It's like, yeah, it's not gonna stand out because it's an original IP. It's fine. It's first person, and and you spent $100 million. Like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah.
how would you do
I
that?
I do think that people are less forgiving
Oh,
now,
definitely definitely online.
and I feel like a lot of them like would rather just bitch about shit than like give it a chance. And I feel like a lot of people are missing out on a lot of games because of that. And it's funny because like I noticed in my Facebook memories the other day, I think it was like might have been yesterday or the day before,
Mhm.
that it was like 3 years since Marvel's Avengers posted their like 1 year anniversary video that a bunch of us were in. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna go find that tweet and just retweet it because like watching this again is giving me like it's like hitting me right in the feels, like
Mhm.
because this game was actually, when it worked, so good and like so perfect that if they had just been able to like nail it and keep up with the content, we would still be playing it right now. You know,
Absolutely.
like we
Because
would have just finished the Dr. Bong raid, obviously fighting. I don't know what joke I made. There were weed jokes.
yeah.
I like
I,
renamed Taskmaster and
I,
Abomination.
I don't think it is. I think Mars of Alien is proof that new IP that isn't that interesting don't get love. Like,
I always felt bad about that game because like I one of the guys that was on that team I met through the 2K Next Makers, and I actually met that team and played it at Summer Game Fest, not obviously 2 years ago,
yeah.
but it came out while I was on my cruise, and I just didn't get to it. Not that I was going to save the day or anything,
Oh,
but
I
you
mean, you
know,
never know, Joe. You
but
struck
I
a
always
chord.
kind of felt bad because like I wanted to like support the game like right away, but yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
No, yeah. You have to have more important than like a massive budget. You have to have a hook that really gets people. And I think one of the best examples recently is Undefeated. Like, it was a game that came out. It was made by 3 college students. It's basically for their college project. They were studying game design. They made this little sandbox fan made Superman simulator, and it struck a chord. It hit 1.8 million downloads on Steam, and then they recently added to PlayStation Store. And I found out about it. I put a spotlight on it. It's like, oh, I thought I didn't think too much of it, but I was like, oh well, I've been wanting to play this game. It's finally on Steam. I'll play it. Just did a quick stream, since it was on PlayStation, letting people know, hey, I really like this game. I like what people are doing. A lot of people been waiting for a Superman type of experience, and here's a little something you can do. And that stream right now is at over 100,000 views, and it's still growing by the day because it struck a chord because there's a demand in the market for that type of game. So they're getting a fully produced sequel, and kind of growing that undefeated brand because they made something interesting. It's not super high budget. It's not, they didn't have $100 million budget. It's not. It's an original IP, but it reached a lot of people because it was made with passion and with a specific market that was being underserved in mind. That's kind of the principle that served Power World really well. Like, you see there's a market that's being underserved, and you try to fill that market with what they want. It's a simple yet elusive concept that a lot of companies miss out on, unfortunately.
I just feel like also that it's kind of like what we're seeing with Marvel and DC in the the MCU and the DC or whatever. Everybody wants to be the smartest guy in the room and think that they can create something better than what
Yeah.
everybody knows and loves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they overthink it and they're like, oh, I want to write this. I want to do this. This is what I want to do. But like, there's so many easy options right on the table,
Very, very easy. Like, I think Suicide Squad, is a great example. I mean, we got the new Gotham DLC coming up on the first. It's like,
It is the first. I thought it was the third for some reason. Are we going to try to team up for that, or?
Oh, I'm always down to team up, but I'm looking at it and it's like, okay, and we knew this would happen. It's like, okay, we're in the thick of it. All right, we just came off of Mrs. Freeze. Now we're going to fucking Lawless, and I'm more interested at this point in the Gotham map than playing Lawless, because I know that because of the way they designed the combat, she's basically going to feel like every other character except for her traversal options. And it's like, even within this concept, there were ways they could have made this game way more interesting. And based on the Jason Schreier behind the scenes, there was definitely a lot of overthinking, but also like
stupidity.
Because I don't know how the fuck you fucked it. Like, you saw Marvel's Avengers. Like, you saw what they did with their combat system. Why would you just make it a pure shoot? Like, just, if you told me brainstorm a Suicide Squad game idea, I would immediately would have told you, well, okay, obviously you have to have Harley Quinn, but oh, and like, oh, you want to involve the Justice League, fighting Justice League? Well, obviously got Deathstroke. You want to have some soups in there, so I would throw in Bizarro. He was a member. I would throw, you could throw in some Flash rogue galleries, whether it's Reverse Flash or Captain Cold. Once he popped off, Peacemaker. You're like Enchantress, Katana. You throw in Killer Frost, and go the kind of Marvel's Avengers route and have everyone have like their unique combat kits, so everyone can kind of do your thing and feel unique. and I would emphasize certain things like the Bizarro because there's a big demand for Superman, and here you get to play kind of as Superman in this open world. This to me seemed like a no brainer. I don't know how it got fucked up that badly.
Yeah, and I feel like I don't know. I just we all agree that we would have done this. But I mean, I don't know. I've had fun with it. I just wish I don't know. I'm glad that we're moving on from it though. I thought this was gonna be the next Avengers game though that we could like feast off of for a little bit.
Apparently it's going to be Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, it's actually gonna be a good week. The new Starfield DLC comes out tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Spark and Zero is early access starts on the 7th.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, obviously you're not.
There's this part of me that's like, oh, you should just try to do it and see if maybe you can get something off of it. But no, I don't feel like it's genuine. I feel like people see through the people that are just trying to like latch on, and that's what I would be.
But you could also kind of just wear your ignorance of the franchise on your sleeve. I think it would be funnier. Be like, so here's we're doing a Naruto versus Ichigo on this first bet.
Naruto.
Yeah, I think you would enjoy the because the feature that everyone's raving about is like the custom match feature. Because it's kind of like a role playing game that you can design yourself. Like you can script out the fights, you can add cutscenes, and you could basically just role play out different battles or in scenarios. And I know how you kind of enjoy. Like with WWE 2K, you would have these interesting, simulation matches and everything like that.
So you can simulate them. You don't have to actually fight them.
Yeah, you can have some really cool shit just programmed in there. I was watching because I was looking at some of the new gameplay from the Tokyo Game Show, and they were showing off some of the custom match scenarios that they did and how it works. And I just thought, oh, that's really fucking cool.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't feel like I would understand enough.
Oh no, no. I would definitely recommend you watch the series, but you probably don't have enough time to binge watch that much content.
Yeah. I am happy for everybody though. Congrats on your new anime game. I hope it's everything you hoped for.
I will be eating good. I'm not planning on turning into like a Spark and Zero creator, but I'm definitely at least going to stream the game a little bit, play through the story mode, maybe run up some custom matches, see how it goes.
Yeah, if it wasn't such a big month, I would probably consider it, but I know that
the Veilguard,
the
Veilguard in the end of the month is going to be great.
Yeah, there's gonna be Veilguard. There's also gonna be. I know I'm getting Call of Duty. Like they hit me up and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna try it. I literally have like every Call of Duty, like right up there somewhere.
I'll be avoiding it.
Yeah, I know that there's also the Lego Harry Potter remaster, which I know won't be interesting to most people, but I gotta get them Lego views. Hopefully,
you're Mr. Lego, so yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, I'm still, dude. I have like 200 video clips that I need to like edit and go through. Like I have 35 levels of 100% completion I need to edit. Jeez. And I sat down to start doing it this morning while I was watching, trying to get caught up on watching some stuff, and I just mentally couldn't do it. I'm like, I dropped the ball on this. I should have done it differently. So I still gotta edit all that. And plus, like so many other people already have those videos up. So it's like the game is not doing as well as I had hoped it would. And I'm hoping that turns around now that it actually does feel a lot better with some of the changes they made.
Yeah, I got to tap back into it.
I'll tell you what, I actually had a call with the developers on Monday. It was myself and 2 other content creators.
You're on calls. Are you basically just on the board of directors now?
No, so I know Arthur Parsons is like when I think of the people in gaming that I'm like, oh, that dude's like a hero. That's who I think of.
Right.
He was basically the face of TT Games for like 2 decades. All right. And then he left TT Games, which is the Lego gaming studio, and started 1010 to do Funko Fusion. And, I met him back in 2017 at E3. And I've also, met him at New York Comic Con and stuff. Like, he is a big reason why I'm sitting in this room right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of respect. And he asked if I would jump on a call with him and just talk about our, like, where the game's at now. Here's some ideas from us on what we think, went wrong or could be better. And that was really cool. It was really cool. Yeah, I thought that was, I'm actually really excited. What I respect the most about him is that, like, people are emailing the support email, like, with, glitches they're having or issues they're having. And, like, it'll be 11 o'clock at night in the UK and he's the one responding to those emails, and, like, this is like the top guy basically at the company.
Yeah.
So
I wish more studios are like this.
Yeah, so, like, they're a small studio. A lot of people did come over from making the Lego games, so there is that pedigree. But for a lot of the people, it's their first video game. And I just obviously I was honest, and I think hearing that story from me about how much I love and respect Arthur, and I feel like you should appreciate and understand that, like, when I say something on Twitter, it's real. Because even with all of that, I think I was pretty critical of a lot of the stuff in Funko Fusion early on.
Very much so.
And I think more than anything, that proves that when I say something, I'm being honest. Like, I didn't want to criticize Funko Fusion because I wanted to sell well, but, like, it had some problems and they recognized it, and they're trying to make it a little less Soulsborne. But there's so many cool things. Like, we figured out that in the Shaun of the Dead level, if you get bit by a zombie, you turn into a zombie in the level, and then when you go back to the menu, you can actually unlock that zombie skin for that character, for almost all the characters. And you can do that in the Thing too. So there's, like, really cool stuff like that I don't know, man. Like, and when you peel back some of the, like, constant combat that they're working on, it is fun, and you're in these worlds in these movies. Like, Invincible is really cool. I've never seen Nope, but, like, that world was kind of cool.
Yeah, I've seen
Jaws.
I've seen pretty much most of the stuff, at least a lot of it, and yeah, I definitely like the idea. It's just that initial first day experience was not great.
Yeah, no, and I get that because I was there. Like, the Thing level is one of the worst experiences I think I had ever had, like, trying to play it straight up. You do also learn that the character you unlock for beating the Thing, you unlock a 5th character for each level when you beat that level, and each of those characters has, like, a superpower.
Yeah, I was seeing some creators talk about, like, there's just the Thing one. He's basically just he's just invincible.
He is invincible. That is his superpower. And the biggest thing that I pitched in the Lego games, they have these thing called red bricks, which are basically like cheats, and you could turn them on or off once you unlock the red brick. So I said, find a way, and if you have to, like, make it a Loungefly backpack that you unlock, and you can activate the backpack or something like that, because you got to incorporate the branding. I did see that spoiler. It sucks.
I didn't see any spoilers. So honestly, I haven't been tapping into any of the Agatha, like, conversation around it, apart from seeing, like, a couple of stuff Paul Tassi tweets about it. I just been watching the show. And
real quick to finish that thought up. My pitch to them was, instead of making just the Norwegian invincible, make it so that you unlock his invincibility cheat, and you can just toggle it on and off in the menu. Because my biggest thing is, when you watch all these videos that the other content creators are putting out, and myself, everybody's just playing as him, because you can't die, and it's boring. And he's literally a nothing character. He's an hodgepodge mashup of every dead zombie character in that movie. Like that's all it is. It's not even a real person. It's just a zombie basically. I will say though, the Dilophosaurus, I call him Dilly Dilly. He has super speed, and it's like playing a Flash game. He's awesome.
I might tap in. Yeah, since you've been glazing a little bit, I think I'll give it another shot. See if the new updates made a difference.
Yeah, I am trying to go to New York Comic Con now though for the Friday, because I didn't realize that Arthur and Jason from Funko were going to be there. Jason is like the VP of licensing for Funko, and I think he was one of the writers on the game, and he actually follows me on Twitter, which is crazy. So I kind of want to go there and get the FaceTime, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So we'll see what happens.
Get market up. But yeah, apart from that, I thought the state of play had a few interesting games. The standouts for me that I didn't really see coming was I knew Hellas Us would be there, and I assumed they would be showing gameplay, but I was kind of intrigued by it because it's a cool title, and the first trailer looked pretty cool. I thought the gameplay looked really interesting. I like how the villains kind of look like the Spot, but Archmage really kind of took me by surprise, because I think we're kind of in a golden age for these action RPGs. Because I looked at that, I was like, wow, that game looks amazing, and then I find out it's got raids. You can play up to 10 people, and I'm like, what the fuck? Where'd this come from? And it's dropping in 2025, and already in 2025 we had the biggest of the RPGs, GTA 6, but then you also had Crimson Desert dropping in 2025, which is supposed to be massive. And then Arc Raiders is supposed to be dropping in 2025, and you have Monster Hunter Wilds dropping like this 2025 is going to be outrageous.
It's going to be a good year
with some of these games. I think it's on paper, just already, it might end up being like the best gaming year in history. Like like definitely better than 2023 potentially. Like just line it up. I was blown away. I mean, I kind of like even February looks pretty stacked. I don't know. Do you think Ubisoft moves Assassin's Creed Shadows again, because it's coming out in a kind of crowded, like we don't know how much time they'll need to polish what, but they're coming out in the same month. You got Civ 7, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Monster Hunter Wilds, like a Dragon, the new Like a Dragon, all coming out all the same month.
I do think those are all games that are gonna do okay, but I don't think any of those games will impact what they do. So if that's all they're going up against, if the game's ready, I think it launches.
Civ 7 and Kingdom Come probably won't take too much away, but I think Like a Dragon is pretty popular.
Sure.
And Monster Hunter Wilds could be fucking massive.
Oh, Avowed as well.
I mean, let's be honest, because we actually had I was looking at some comments made by Jason Schreier before we got in here. I don't know what's going on with Xbox, bro. Apparently no one else does either, because Jason was mentioning how there seems to be like no plan, like no one knows what's going on. Like they had previously said that Indiana Jones is never going on PlayStation 5, and then they put Indiana Jones on PlayStation 5. And he's saying everyone that he talks to, they have no idea what their goal is, what the plan is going forward. It just seems weird. And the more I look at Avowed, the less impressed I am. And I kind of feel like, especially dropping in that month, Avowed is like the least impressive of the 2025 RPGs, and I just feel like that one's just going to get swallowed up in that month, and it's going to create another round of is Xbox over?
I don't
news
think
cycles.
I'm not really too concerned with any of that. I think it makes sense to put Indiana Jones on PlayStation.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
really does.
I'm not if you're a console warrior, but
I don't care about that. Like, I feel like that's a game that's going to sell, and they're a business. They want to make money, so make money. Like, I feel like the people that are going to play on Xbox are going to play on Xbox, and they do it because that's what they want to play. That's like me. I prefer playing on Xbox. It's just what I prefer, and I don't think that's ever going to really change. And I think they do enough that it's going to be fine. Like sure, they're not selling a billion, like PlayStation, but they're still selling quite a bit. And they're still a lot of things are like, they just announced that their business has never been better in Japan, which I know is a low bar, but
extraordinary low bar.
but like they're seeing improvements. So like, and I do feel like once as cloud gaming begins to improve, that Xbox Game Pass is their selling point.
That's kind of their only gambit here, the cloud gaming exploding, because like as it is, like a lot of people, I think part of the reason why Xbox sales are have been so bad lately is not just the lack of games, but it's kind of just not necessary. Like between day one Game Pass, day one PC, now you're porting stuff over to PlayStation, and a lot of people just play Xbox. They just have their Game Pass and then just play on their PC, and now you can play on your Fire Stick. So it's kind of like you don't need the console unless you just really want the console.
Yeah, but the console is only a part of it, though. Like they're still going to sell their consoles. The people that are going to play on a Fire Stick are obviously not going to buy the console anyway. So getting them in the ecosystem is what it's all about.
Yeah, the point is to get them in your system, but then that comes down to the games, like, which is something they definitely have to figure out very fucking fast. But
they keep announcing all these games, and there's all these games that are supposed to be coming, and they keep buying these studios. So yeah, but like, let's not pretend PlayStation has put out a lot of first party games this year either. Like that has been kind of like the one thing that, like, obviously they put out Astrobot, but here's the difference. They put out Astrobot and it's phenomenal, and Xbox has put out stuff and it's good,
and that's the thing. Like Xbox, like going into 2024, people were projecting, especially Xbox fans, like, oh, this could be a big year for Xbox. They had some interesting exclusives lined up. They're supposed to have Avowed. They were supposed to have Hellblade 2. Like they were looking at, oh, this is going to be a big year, and it wasn't. Like PlayStation had, PlayStation didn't have a bunch of huge first party releases, but they had really success with their exclusive. They made sure they got in on Black Myth Wukong early. They had a massive hit in Helldivers. They got a hit right off the bat in the Stellar Blade franchise. They have the front runner for Game of the Year with Astrobot. The one downside really of the PlayStation year was their live service plans, which we knew were shit to begin with, which is I think a big reason why Jim Ryan's not there anymore.
Well, it's also funny that you mentioned the live service thing. I went looking for that Jason Schreier quote, and part of the same thing is talking about Horizon
Online,
and their next game is Horizon Online. which could be good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I hear it's basically Monster Hunter, but Horizon.
No, I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna say anything bad about Horizon because it is a nice game, but
yeah, the interesting thing about Horizon is that there's kind of this perception I see a lot online that Horizon isn't is not a successful franchise, and people don't know why PlayStation is pushing it hard, but it's actually like an extraordinarily successful franchise, and it definitely makes sense that they're pushing it that hard.
and they should really consider me for Lego Horizon Adventures.
They should absolutely do. They should absolutely get Mr. Lego himself in on
Yeah.
in Lego Horizon. Actually, another game they got to put out there, and now they got the PS Pro announcement out there. They announced Ghost of Yotei, like Sony is closing the year strong, and ideally now they're going to learn their lesson at least when it comes to the lives. I think they've understood the live service stuff was I mean I knew they clearly thought it was a bad idea, which is why so many got canceled and why they shoveled Jim Ryan the fuck out of there, but I don't think they thought it would be quite this bad. But at least they got Helldivers out of it, and I think Horizon will do well. But Fair Games is almost certainly going to be another Concord level bomb. So unless the trailer is misleading and the gameplay itself is just so much better. I doubt it, but anything's possible. Anything's possible. I mean, look what
I will
happened
say
with Dragon Age.
I do understand and agree with what Jason Schreier is saying, though. It is tough to understand exactly where Xbox is kind of going. It does seem, I don't know. I do feel like they are kind of pivoting quickly and too often. So it would be nice to see them just like put their nose down and just commit,
something like
Yeah.
besides firing people, commit to something else.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It sucks about the firing people, but I do feel like, when you merge a bunch of companies together, you don't necessarily need, like, some positions become redundant because you can have one person handle it for multiple companies. You know what I mean? I'm not like that's only part of it. I understand, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's just this is an ongoing public relations battle they're losing as well, because obviously a major component of that deal was the promise that they weren't going to have mass layoffs going along with it, which we knew was a fucking lie, but we didn't think they would do it quite that fast. But it is what it is. Like if they were if something interesting had come out of it, I don't think it would have been quite as big.
Well, it's weird because we talk about how like a lot of these companies have so much bloat, and then clearly, I'm not saying that every person eliminated was bloat, but clearly some of it was probably bloat. And it's like, oh, layoffs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's like
because the issue is like the bloat argument. Like you can look at Ubisoft and say, yeah, they might have a bloat problem. They have 19,000 employees. That's obviously outrageous, but it's because they're also constantly trying to put out games. So you say, okay, well, they clearly have a bloat problem because they're trying to put out too many games. They need to kind of slow down, focus on quality. Problem with Xbox is that Microsoft is $1 trillion company. Xbox is spending all this money on acquiring studios and getting bigger, and they have no fucking games. like literally, and it's like, what's going on? Like
I think a lot of those games are starting to get close to coming out, though.
Yeah, but it's crazy, and they just kind of have this track record where they kind of just studios kind of just go there to die. Like Fable 2 still in my top 3 favorite games of all time, and they fucking killed the studio. And it's like, what are we doing? And they spent what, $80 billion on these acquisitions, and what's the plan? Like,
well, let's be real, okay? they're making their money back from Activision. That's not even an issue. Like the silent moneymaker is not even the console games. It's the freaking Candy Crush games and stuff like that. Like, they're making
Oh, yeah.
like bank off that. And then obviously, Call of Duty, say what you will, still one of the 2 or 3 biggest games in the world. Still a huge moneymaker, you know?
Yeah, but even then, I'm looking at some of the stats, like, yeah, Candy Crush, big seller. It's but that's annually, $1.2 billion of revenue, not, revenue, not profit.
Right.
So this is obviously a steady money maker, but when you're spending, you just spend $80 billion,
Well, that's a lifetime thing.
like that's going to, and I think part of the issue is that they spent so much money that Big Daddy Microsoft started looking a little closer, like, oh, wait a minute. What's going on down there? We're, because they want to see results at a certain point, and they're kind of just been waiting for Xbox to put some pressure on PlayStation, and it just really hasn't been happening. Like, there's some interesting stuff they have on the horizon, but it's like Fable, the new Fable game, I don't know, to me it looks bad. State of Decay still looks far away. Every update I hear about the new Elder Scrolls is bad. Like, I don't like they having development issues. They had a big hit with the Fallout TV show, but we don't know when the next Fallout game
Drop the ball on
it's coming.
Halo.
They completely fucked Halo. One of the most storied franchises. They got Gears coming. That's something, but it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know that Gears is what it used to be. I feel like bringing back Gears is like saying, oh, we're gonna bring back. Well, Killzone and Resistance could only dream about being that, but like, I don't really think it like is as big today as it was 10 years ago. You know what I mean?
No, but at least it's something. It's established IP, and I thought the trailer had a really good reaction, but it's like they gotta start really landing some of these games, because it's looking kind of dry.
There's plenty of games to play on Xbox. Like, that's always a myth. Like, they don't have to be all exclusive. Like, they get some exclusives, and they get some stuff that's fun to play. Like, I don't think PC gamers count. Console players are console players. It's fine. Like, I'm not really overly concerned. Most of the games I play are multi-platform anyway. So, like, it's very honestly, I would honestly say there are very few games that have been exclusive to PlayStation or Xbox in the last 10 years that I would say are in my top lists, and there's Ghost of Tsushima is in there, and obviously Astrobot I really loved, but like, are there some good games on PlayStation? Sure, God of War is good, not for me, but like, the Horizon games they're good, they're well made, not really games that I ended up going through and everything, but like, I don't think there's a ton of spectacular exclusives for either of them year in and year out, Like, most of the games I enjoy the most are the games you can play on any platform.
Yeah, well, most of the games I end up playing end up being usually are PlayStation exclusive, but I think it's just going to come down to preference, and my main concern is that, I mean, the numbers kind of just don't. The numbers so far, show that Xbox has just been losing badly, and my concern is that I don't want it to be a situation
You're
where
not concerned.
where PlayStation. No, I am concerned, because as a 2K player, as I'm always telling people and reminding people, monopolies are bad. like I don't want it to be a situation where PlayStation can just feel like it can do whatever the fuck it wants because
we've seen what they do when that happens.
because
It is not good.
We don't want a situation where it's like, what are you gonna do? Go to Xbox? Like like we don't want we want to avoid that. We want that threat to be real. Like, yeah, I fucking will go to that. Like, and that's just not the case right now. Like, I would have absolutely no interest in that scenario. Just looking at the current slate of upcoming games, and I'm like, that part does concern me. So that's why I really want Xbox to have a big push and start, putting some pressure on Sony.
Yeah, I think there's also a perception issue at this point.
For sure.
I don't think people realize, like, when they announced the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, both consoles were going to do the always online thing. But Xbox went first. And PlayStation just said, yeah, we ain't doing that. And we don't need them to know we were going to. We'll fix it after the fact. And that, like, changed the world. Like, absolutely. Just that one little thing, which, by the way, most of us are always online anyway.
Yeah.
But, like, it really would not have, even in 2013 or 14, whenever it was announced, like, it would not have affected us that much even then. And now, with it being, like, so much more advanced, and most people are only on digital PlayStations anyway.
Yeah.
Like, it's really not as huge a deal as people made it out to be. But, like, that singular moment absolutely changed the landscape forever.
Yeah, and that was kind of like a frog burning, boiling in the pot situation.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to spring something like that on the customers. You want to kind of slowly turn up that heat so they don't notice they're being cooked.
Oh, it's also kind of like that when Diablo announced they were going to have that mobile game, and the guys on stage like, well, everybody has a mobile phone, like, it's just one of those situations where, like, even though you're right, and even though, like, especially with the always online thing, like, even though in the grand scheme of things, it feels like, no big deal. Like, that customer perception can shatter it, like, it just takes a little bit to make that happen. Absolutely. So, but that was honestly the turning point for the two consoles, because at that point they were neck and neck. Like,
the 360 was
360 dominated for a long time.
It was really big. Like, ultimately Sony outsold them, but it was definitely neck and neck. Like, I had a 360 and a PS3. I love both. I love both systems. That's where I played the fuck out of Fable. Then the PS4, they just ran away with it. ran away with it.
I mean, there's a world where if the PS3 came out sooner, that I might have never had an Xbox at all, because, like, I still remember, like, I had no intention of getting a 360, but, like, I think I've maybe told the story before, but, like, I was living in Jacksonville, Florida at the time, and I got a huge bonus on my paycheck, and it was the day that Madden came out. And I was like, ooh, do I get it for PS2, or I've got money right now? Do I just get a 360 and get the newer version of Madden? And I decided then to just get a 360. And then I got it home. My boxer at the time, his name was Teddy.
Shout out to Teddy.
He immediately, I had it vertical. I immediately knocked it over, and the disc started, like, grinding, and I ended up having to go back to GameStop, like, within the first hour of owning a 360, and get that disc replaced because he knocked it over and it, like, scratched it. I was like, dude, I was just here an hour ago. Like, what the hell?
You didn't have scratch remover on hand?
I don't know. I don't know what happened to that disc, but it was fucked.
Oh,
like, wow. So yeah. But no, I mean, like, yeah. So, like, if that didn't just happen to happen, who knows? You know what I mean?
Anything,
So
yeah, anything happen. Yeah, the never underestimate the what perception can do to your brand. We'll see if Ubisoft can recover from this.
here's the thing though, like about this, okay? I agree with this. All right. I
Um,
wish like hell that it would be backwards compatible, but um the PS5 Pro is a digital console. So how are you going to play all those PS1, 2, and 3 games when most of them probably aren't even sold on their storefront anymore?
yeah,
You're going to have a disc and you need to put it somewhere, and that somewhere is the disc drive that is literally already out now. So I don't know how I don't understand how Sony of all people who literally make DVD and Blu-ray players can't make a freaking disc drive that reads all those discs. You can't tell me that's impossible or that it's going to cost a lot of money. Like I don't believe that for a second.
I think what they're trying to do, and this is just my hunch, they're trying to tie the backwards compatible because they obviously want to go all in on digital.
Right.
That's why they're doing this. But I think they're looking at the compatibility angle and are trying to tie it into their PS Plus and cloud services. They're trying to kind of play towards that future of
Yeah.
cloud gaming by having kind of something to pitch them like, hey, you get PS Plus, you get backwards compatibility on all the old games, but through our streaming, get into our ecosystem. I think that's how they're going to do it. I think the price of the console is literally just a combination. Yeah, there's definitely some inflation going on, but also in general, they always sell before they've always been selling their consoles at a loss because Xbox was selling their consoles at a loss. That was the strategy in order to get people into the ecosystem. But now that they don't have to worry about that, they're just like, well, fuck it, let's try to make a little more markup, kind of get a little closer to making a profit on these sales instead of just taking a big loss per console and just counting on everyone coming in. Like this is probably them experimenting for the potential price point of the PS6.
Yeah, the problem though with the theory about pushing into the PS Plus is most of those PS1 and PS2 and 3 games, they've probably, unless they were exclusive to them, they probably lost the licensing for.
Yeah,
People want to just take the disc they already have, put it in, and play it.
yeah. I
And
don't
I
think they're
don't
gonna let
see
that
any reason
happen.
why Sony of all people, a literal hardware
Yeah,
manufacturer, like couldn't pull that
I
off.
think they can absolutely do it. I just don't think they see an incentive to do it.
Yeah, right. Because like most people are going to buy those games secondhand, and
Yeah,
they're not going to be able to buy them digitally. So
exactly.
I get that for sure. But like, it still seems like such a simple thing that wouldn't cost them all that much to do. That would go a long way, and be another system seller. Because think about it. Like, what does everybody talk about all the time? Oh, I want to play X-Men Legends. I want to play Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I want to play all these older games. I can't just put it in. And granted, Xbox, like, they have a lot of games that you can do that with. It's not all of them. I say the same thing to them. I don't understand how your console can't read an Xbox and Xbox 360 and a Xbox One disc. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. you know
Yeah, you should be. Yeah, you should be able to just put it in without any complications.
Chat, what old games do you guys want to play? I already see some people saying.
The X-Men Origins. I know a lot of old God of War is a popular choice. I see people talk about the old Transformers games, which are apparently being relisted. Obviously, Ultimate Alliance, X-Men Origins, the old Spider-Man games like Web of Shadows, all Ninja Gaiden.
I'll tell you what I want to play. I just talked about this in a video I made yesterday. I bought this many
That's the
many.
universe.
It is a PAL version though, so I don't. And I know that PlayStation likes to region lock everything. I've literally never played this game, and I don't I don't know that I ever will, because it had such a limited release.
I want
And
I
yeah,
don't have the disc on me, but I would definitely love to play Matrix Path of Neo again. I absolutely I love that game. So I was so happy when it felt like when they announced Matrix Path of Neo, they had literally just listened to my prayers. Like I felt like I had actually manifested it because they had dropped Enter the Matrix, and I was like, yes, Enter the Matrix, and I played. Finally we get to play a Matrix game, and it was fine. But I was like, I want to fucking play Neo. Why can't we play Neo? And there were rumors that there was like some kind of code that lets you play Neo, and it just never panned out. I was like, why the fuck would they make a Matrix game when and you can only play with Jada fucking Pinkett Smith and it's some Asian dude. I want to fucking play as Neo.
because Xbox KOTOR is an Xbox exclusive.
Yeah. But we won in the end. We got the exact game I asked for. Like Matrix Path of Neo, you played the entire Neo story from the when he's in the cubicle all the way to when he's fighting Smith in the Matrix Revolution in the rain in front of all the they got all that in. They even threw in a kaiju fight. It's fucking great. Love that game.
Right. I think it's on Switch because it's different to port it to Switch and PC, obviously.
Ujai to Academy. Yeah. Imagine if they did like people bring up X-Men Legends. I really like it. It wasn't the best, but I really just enjoyed X-Men. I really enjoyed X-Men Destiny. It was just fun. It was just good. I hope they do a kind of a remake of the concept one day, but I don't know, just in general,
like a Hogwarts Legacy type game, like Travis was saying.
Yeah, or do my Green Lantern idea. Yeah,
I still have X-Men Legacy back there somewhere.
Ooh.
Or Destiny.
That's yeah.
Whatever it's called.
Yeah, DC definitely needs to do something. Jesus Christ is getting on my nerves. Actually, yeah, now that Gabe's here, I gotta congratulate him. I heard the latest rumors is that they're narrowing down the actor they're going to get to play Jon Stewart in the Green Lantern show, and one of them is Gabe's boyfriend from Rebel Ridge. He's one of the finalists reportedly to play Jon Stewart. I'm actually just rooting for him. I hope he wins for Gabe's sake. I hope he gets it. Of course, Travis has the worst Green Lantern take possible.
I like Jon Stewart. I mean, Hal Jordan is obviously the king of the Green Lanterns, but
inferior.
I really hate. I really, 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 really hate what they're trying to do with Hal Jordan in whatever this show is. Yeah, like, Kyle, I don't know why they're trying to make him elderly.
Yeah, Kyle Chandler from he's a really good actor.
But every picture they show of him is when he was like 30.
Yeah, like I love
no idea that man was 59.
Yeah, I love Friday Night Lights, but even a younger version of him, I was like, I don't know why. It's definitely a choice. I'm guessing the dynamic is going to be like in this universe, this DCU, Hal Jordan is like a veteran, like he's getting up there.
You can still do that with somebody in like their like late 30s, early 40s. Like I think ideally Hal Jordan would be cast as somebody that's like 35 to 42, somewhere in that range. So like I guess they were talking to Chris Pine, and I think he's like 45.
Yeah.
And Chris Pine has let himself go gray, and I could have been okay with that unless they're doing some parallax story. But like my issue is that if you make Hal Jordan too old and this Green Lantern show or whatever they're doing takes off and does well, and they're able to link everything together, you're basically saying that Hal Jordan is not a part of the next 10 years of the
mean,
DC universe.
I think that's the intent because the
That's
actors they're considering for Jon Stewart are considerably younger. Like,
sure, and that's fine. And I'm fine if they want to do a Justice League where Jon Stewart's the primary. Okay, I'm fine with that. All right, if they're getting this whoever they pick for Jon Stewart and they're shifting him into all the other stuff, and Hal is just a mainstay in the show, I'm fine with that. That's fine. I don't care. Like, but don't age him. Like, I'm sorry, you're not going to have this guy still be Hal Jordan 10 years from now. You know?
I mean, he can. I mean, I'm sure he could, but yeah, we'll know officially what Gunn's plans are there. But yeah, I feel like I mean he could obviously throw in another Green Lantern. Maybe he's like obviously he's already got another Green Lantern in Superman, and they're gonna have the Jon Stewart. I feel like Jon Stewart will be the main. And that's just how the roles, which I'm fine with. That. I like Hal, but I think Jon is superior, and I rather if they're going to have one main Jon going forward, it just be running Lantern going forward, it just be Jon Stewart. And I mean
Kyle Rayner is super popular too.
Yeah, because maybe that's something they do as well. They bring they have a Kyle, but yeah, it looks like for that particular show. They want to have kind of like a old cop, new cop dynamic going there.
But you could still do that with a younger Jon Stewart in a like mid to late 30s Hal Jordan.
Apparently Gunn wanted to go super veteran for the Hal Jordan, whatever.
Well, he did the same thing with Stallone's character. Like that guy was supposed to be younger. I don't know, man. I really don't get it.
I'm gonna trust the process as long as I got my Jon Stewart. I'm okay. I think I'm gonna just see how it plays out because I think Gunn generally does good work. He's generally pretty good with his casting instincts. So I'm gonna let him cook. He's usually right more often than not, and I just want DC to kind of get back on their feet and prove a consistent challenge to Marvel, and so we can kind of really have good superhero stuff again.
I don't even care about challenging Marvel. I just want good superhero stuff. That's it.
Yeah, that's a problem. Like when you have one that's just not doing anything, it's like it's an issue. Like ideally, I want them both putting out great content so they can push each other to do better, and all us superhero fans can eat off of it. And I feel like James Gunn can kind of potentially turn their stuff around. We'll see how Creature Commando is, but obviously it's all going to come down to that first Superman movie. We'll see how that one goes.
I did watch all 3 episodes of Agatha. Ooh. I only watched 1 episode of the Penguin. Is there only 1 episode, or is there 2?
As far as I know, there was only 1 episode of Penguin.
Okay, all right, then I guess I'm caught up.
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine on that. Yeah, and believe me, I was looking because I really love that first episode of Penguin. I thought it was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, it was really good. That was the kid from The Runaways.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I recognized him right away.
Yeah, apparently he also wants to play Miles Morales. I'm like, pump the brakes, kid.
Yeah, I don't know if he's really there.
No.
Before we get into that, this is something that annoys me. Okay, I've seen some lately, a lot of people like, oh, I want them to play Miles Morales, and then you read the comments like, no, it has to be somebody that's mixed Black and Puerto Rican, otherwise no. I don't think you need to be that literal. I just think you need somebody that looks the part.
Yeah, I don't care about that at all.
Yeah, but like the same thing happened when they cast Kamala. They're like, oh, she's not Pakistani.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, they also did the same thing when they cast America Chavez.
Right.
They said she's not dark enough.
And they did the same thing when they cast Namor because he wasn't actually from Atlantis.
Yeah, which, to be fair, I think was a much more valid criticism because the the MCU Namor was fucking dog shit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, if only they found someone from Atlantis.
Enemies call me Namor.
Are we doing spoilers?
For Agatha All Along? I mean, yeah, for the first, we can. I mean, it's Sunday. We could do spoilers for the first 3 episodes. Yes.
All right, so you're warned. We are gonna say. I mean, there's not a lot of spoilers you can really get into with Agatha, but there was one name drop, which made me go, "Ooh!"
Mephisto.
They finally said his name.
They finally said it. They finally said the thing.
And I obviously do not think that is who. I don't think that's who.
The kid is.
No, the kid's Wiccan. We know that.
Yeah.
But like Wiccan in the comics has like that's Billy. That's like Wanda's kid. The Funko spoiler, yeah. I don't know if we really want to get into that.
No, we won't get into that. But we'll just generally.
I will say I saw it, and that's probably who I would have guessed. Aubrey Plaza is. It makes perfect sense. Like, so yeah, that's exactly who I would have guessed her character is.
Yeah.
Aubrey Plaza is Aubrey Plaza, which means she's amazing. You know, Catherine Hahn, the little like kind of cop episode.
Yeah.
Was really, it was slow, but it was kind of cool.
Yeah,
and I loved what they did with that.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that because it started giving me vibes to like early Wanda, the first few episodes of WandaVision, except this one actually wasn't too short, and I was kind of digging that whole investigating thing. I thought they set that up pretty well, and Catherine Hahn, she's having just a lot of fun with this role.
Yeah, like she's such a good actress. Like,
yeah, she's fantastic.
And then of course we had, I don't know, is that our first Marvel booty?
I think literally, yeah. I mean, unless I'm female at least.
Yeah, it seems like Gabe was like rooting for some hair to move.
Yeah, Gabe was out. I don't count. Do we count Netflix?
No, because it's not true MCU.
Yeah. Even then, I don't. There was, I mean, it was some with I remember Jessica Jones got a little explicit with the Luke Cage stuff, but but it's Netflix though, so I don't really.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, this is like Disney. Like,
yeah, I thought it was interesting. I watched it with my wife, and she seemed to really like it. And I thought Catherine Hahn was phenomenal. Like, I really like, she had a lot of range in what she was doing. You really felt that she was up to no good. So yeah, it was good.
I had the lowest possible expectations. I thought Penguin would be good. It seemed like a prestige TV type of show. Agatha, meanwhile, was just kind of like, why the fuck did they make this? It was a nice song, but what are we doing? But
well, what I understand, it's the lowest budget project they've done. So if that's the case, and it's just fun, then cool.
I mean, because I gotta say, it looks better than a lot of their higher budget ones.
Right.
like I'm sorry, it's like, really?
Penguin did a lot of the things that I think we criticize. A lot of the stuff that we've seen from Disney Plus, for a lot of dialogue driven scenes where you're just kind of sitting and talking, but it did it in a way that was interesting. I could tell that show is going to be nuts. Like, I was on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, like because my issue with the Disney Plus shows, when I criticize them for like not having anything happening, the issue I had specifically was that it was like for Andor. Andor's a really good show, but my issue wasn't that it was like not a lot of action. My issue is that it felt like there was a lot of filler. Like, it was high quality,
Right.
but it felt like some of the episodes could have been drastically condensed because it doesn't serve anything. Like the bigger thing is not even just having two characters talking or any of that. It's the pacing and the content of what they're saying. Like what they're saying moving the plot? Is it interesting? Like is the overall pacing good? And I feel like a lot of Disney Plus shows were having this issue where there wasn't anything happening action wise. They were having a lot of dialogue, but the dialogue was particularly good and it wasn't moving the plot forward. And then when it did have action, it all wasn't even always particularly good. Like even when they were spending big money on stuff, like the Acolyte was just kind of just all over the place. Like he spent $180 million and it looked cheap, and the writing was just bad, just all around. Like the pacing was all over the place. There was so many plot holes and inconsistencies. It was poorly done. Whereas Penguin just felt like intention. It felt very, very intentional, like how you're supposed to do it when you have a really tight script and you have good actors. You can just kind of let them perform. Like everything had a purpose. It didn't feel like a scene was just there to fill time. It felt like they used up every minute. Like that Penguin story where he's trying to tell Falcon's kid, like the type of guy he wants to be. He just tells us this really nice story about the gangster that he looked up to in his neighborhood. How he knew everyone's name, and he took care of everybody. And when he died, he threw him a parade, and he made this really profound remark about wanting to leave behind a legacy. And I was like, oh wow, that's a good speech. And then Falco just calls him a fucking loser, and you're just like, and before you can like go, oh man, it's like pop, 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 pop. I'm like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah. I did not think he was gonna off him there.
Yeah.
I thought it was a Falcone. It was like I felt like there would be something that happened, but
yeah,
that was wild. And then like just the panic of it all, and it in the what is it, Sophia Falcone?
yeah,
She's nuts. Like she's a really good character
in the best ways.
Yeah. Colin Farrell is phenomenal. If you didn't know that was Colin Farrell, you would never know.
Yeah, even like knowing it's Colin Farrell, I forget it's Colin Farrell.
Yeah, it's so good. So I'm really looking forward to like keeping up with that. I think that's really cool. Got news this week that they're going to do a Bane Deathstroke movie.
Yeah,
or something.
That's a choice. It's a Bane and Deathstroke team up movie.
I don't know how I see those two together.
That's an interesting comment. I'm trying to think of what they could possibly. It kind of feels like a Hobbs and Shaw situation, but like Hobbs and Shaw kind of had a reason to. It feels like
I do feel like Bane and Deathstroke work together a bit, like in the comics, or even in like Young Justice. I think you kind of see them together maybe from time to time, but I don't feel like it's because they're like necessarily working together. It's because they're like working towards the same goal but separately.
I don't know if they're trying to make it like an actual team up movie, like a buddy cop thing. I'm like, I don't know how that's gonna exactly work, but I could be into it.
Yeah, ain't no shot we're getting Azrael. They won't even do Batman Beyond.
No, yeah, I'll see that going up, but I don't know. Maybe they both get hired for the same job, and it ends up being a setup, so they kind of have to work together to get to the bottom of it.
Or even better, they get hired for the same job, and they're fighting each other the whole way, trying to complete it. I mean, I guess you could do kind of both, like, but like that's actually a good idea. Like your idea made me think about, what if they're just competing?
Well, I am
like
a
Hitman Bodyguard or
something
something like
Bodyguard,
that? Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, they were trying to. It was The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, and Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a movie. It was a movie. It definitely had actors and cameras. It was on Netflix, but I can definitely look into it. I'm not sure if it's going to be DCU or Elseworlds. And is it going to be live action? Did they confirm it?
I would hope it is.
Yeah,
I felt like that was the whole point, because I don't think you make a big deal about it if it's animated, because like
yeah,
they do shit like that all the time.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, they have a Kite Man show, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, for a live action one, yeah, I mean, it could work. It sound in theory, it sounds fucking better than Madam Web. I mean, you can't get much worse
Yeah.
than that. Because I saw some people saying that because there was the response to it seemed to be pretty cautiously optimistic or positive, and there was some people complaining that they were criticizing Sony Marvel for essentially doing the same thing. And to that I say, well, no, the reason why the Sony Marvel stuff got criticized is because it sucked.
Dude, I watched that on my flight to LA when I went whenever I watched the audiobook movie Oppenheimer. Whenever I watched Oppenheimer and Madam Web back to back on my flight to LA.
Oof, that's quite a combination.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a very bad flight.
I would imagine.
Yeah, Madam.
I watched Oppenheimer after I watched American Fiction, so I had a considerably better time.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I'm not buying this. Like, I probably have just about every steelbook they put out for Marvel movies and whatnot, and I was like, nope.
See, my issue with Venom is that I don't care about the Sony Marvel. Honestly, the Sony Marvel verse is just so mid that
Yeah.
apart from the Spider-Verse, I kind of just don't give a fuck what they do.
I don't like the idea of going to null. It doesn't make sense to me.
It makes sense to me based on
All the
the
symbiotes
Venom
invading.
movies, because it's like they're just kind of just throwing shit at the wall like they
Yeah.
did. Like they introduced it, it was like, oh, this is cool, a little cool take on Venom, and then it went right to Carnage, and then it just immediately fucked up Carnage and said, all right, let's go right to Null. Like, this is exactly kind of the thing I would expect them to escalate to. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't think it's going to be a good movie. I don't care if it is either way, because I don't take their universe seriously. I mean, their Craven the Hunter has a fucking American accent. I don't care about their universe.
Yeah.
I can't take it seriously. I'm just waiting for the next Tom Holland Spider-Man film. I don't give a fuck unless they're announcing Toby or Andrew are getting their own solo Spider-Man films. I don't give a fuck what Sony's doing with their Marvel movies. Wake me up when Beyond the Spider-Verse comes out. I don't care. They can do whatever they want. They can bring in Null. They could bring in the Living Tribunal. I don't give a fuck what they. I don't give a fuck what they do. I don't care.
I have not heard this rumor.
Rumor has it Sony is giving up and giving Marvel shared rights to all Spider-Man characters. First, definitely.
Yeah, I feel like that would be like a pretty big story. I haven't heard that at all, and I don't know why they would do that.
Let me see. This is from Game Rant a day ago. Let's put it up.
Maybe I missed it.
Well, let's see. If it's anything, it would be this article. So, recent rumors suggest a shakeup in the Disney Spider-Man Sony deal, easing restrictions for villain crossovers. Sony's revised agreement with Marvel requires informing about villain use, offering new MCU collaboration opportunities. Historical insight into the Marvel Sony partnership shows needs Need for collaboration to revitalize Spider-Man franchise. This is from the Geeky Cast. The rumor, the real details about Spider-Man expanded role in the MCU, highlighting changes in the partnership. According to revised agreement, Sony must now inform Marvel Studios about which Spider-Man villains it plans to use in its non-MCU projects. Consequently, Marvel will be restricted from using these characters until at least 30 days after the Sony movie hits VOD. This arrangement could potentially allow Marvel to introduce characters like Venom or Kraven the Hunter into the MCU, possibly as new variants, distinct from the versions seen in Sony's Spider-Verse, such as Aaron Taylor Johnson's portrayal of Kraven, which is fucking horseshit. I hope they never do that again after that movie bombs. Additionally, Sony must adhere to new guidelines, including a minimum budget of $75 million for any Marvel films it produces and a release in at least 2,000 U.S. theaters. This revamp suggests a mutually beneficial reconfiguration for both the MCU and Sony's Spider-Man universes, offering new opportunities for collaboration and storytelling. So it doesn't sound that dramatic, but it does. It could have some potential. To me, the biggest issue I see with that, assuming it's true, is that the Sony villains suck, and I don't want them in the MCU.
Well, yeah, not their versions, but shout out to Eastwood for coming through there. I thought that would be a huge deal if that's the case.
Yeah, I mean that could help. I'd be more concerned the characters themselves. Yeah, sure. We definitely, you definitely eventually would like to see Tom Holland in Venom or Carnage or Kraven, but definitely not the Sony versions.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Tom Hardy Venom isn't terrible.
He's terrible for a Spider-Man villain, like because he's a lethal protector. Like he's not a villain. Like if they're going to do the symbiote arc, I feel like they should actually just kind of skip that and just have him fight Carnage. If they're going to bring in the symbiote rather than just go to Venom, because I thought, even though the movie was bad, I thought their Carnage was good. I liked Woody Harrelson's performance. I thought their Carnage design was incredible. Unfortunately, it was in a really poorly written PG-13 movie, so there was like no violence, and it ended poorly. But everything else, like they almost had it. Like I would love to see that version of Carnage fighting in the MCU.
Yeah,
that's the only. That's pretty much the only thing. Like Morbius, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Morbius again. Their Kraven is terrible. Venom's is basically a hero. Madam Web was a disaster. I would definitely wouldn't mind. I'm hearing Sydney Sweeney is being rumored to be Black Cat. Fully support that. Like, bring it on.
I agree there.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, I like that the Sony live action stuff exists over here, and the MCU does their thing over there. That's for the best so far. I'm not particularly excited about anything else they're doing, but I am looking forward to see what they do with Tom Holland's next big adventure.
Yeah, I think I like fractured my finger or something. Like like my pinky finger. I can feel like this bump right here, and it hurts a lot, but I have no idea what I did.
Maybe just
something not broken, but like there's like this weird. I don't know. It hurts a lot for some reason.
Gabe broke the rule of Spider-Man DLC Fight Club. So I'm seeing. Yeah, I haven't made a video yet, but I have been seeing the obligatory. Is it over? Is it dead? Spider-Man 2 YouTube videos, everything like that, and I'm still waiting because I think that it's still coming out. I'll be I specifically said I was looking potentially at the 1 year anniversary. I just have a hard time believing that they would just randomly scrap the DLC and just never say anything about it. Like, there's literally no reason not, like, if they didn't want to do it to begin with, they just wouldn't have done it. But the fact that they were working on it, and the fact and won't say anything one way or the other, makes me think it's definitely something they're still planning to release. It's just obviously everything's just taking longer.
Yeah, I especially because when you consider it, like, a lot of the stuff is really just a matter of creating small spaces and
Yeah.
like cinematics and whatnot,
Yeah.
because you're going to obviously work in the same city. Obviously there's some programming that goes along with it, but
we knew they made a lot more content than what made it into the main game anyway.
yeah.
So I think the assets are there. I just think it's literally just a matter of everything got pushed back probably at least 6 months because of the cyber attack, and they obviously had a timelines to work off of. They had to get the New Game Plus out there. They had to get the Kid Super collaboration out there. They had to make specific milestones on Marvel's Wolverine. All this stuff takes time. When you're going to have promotion like they did for New Game Plus, it takes time to put the assets and everything together to do those trailers and stuff like that. So yeah, I just think it literally just, their timeline was just altered. So it's taking longer than they initially planned. But I based on all the communication I've seen from them, I have no reason to think that the DLC isn't coming out.
Yeah, I kind of tend to agree too.
Yeah,
and they don't need any like you're not going to announce that at the Tokyo Game Show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, people that are expecting that were down bad. Like
why would they do a state of play and then a few days later, like, oh, Tokyo Game Show, let's announce this year.
Like that's why I said state of play or the day after, because literally earlier this year there was a state of play. They didn't announce anything there, and then the day after the state of play, they announced the New Game Plus update with a trailer. So
what if they are announcing it and dropping it on November 7th?
November 7th, what, the PS5 Pro day?
You got your PS5 Pro. Guess what else you got? Brand new Spooderman.
And that's when they'll have that free Spider-Man 2 PS5 Pro update as well.
Yeah, exactly. So
I would think they announced it before that. So maybe, because what I thought they would do, I thought they would announce it around the state of play and have it out by the 1 year anniversary. But going off your idea, they could just announce it on the 1 year anniversary.
Didn't they just shadow drop the God of War DLC though?
That was at the Jeff Keighley, I think what was it, the Game Awards?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was the Game Awards. Yeah, they announced it. Out of nowhere, they just announced it. It was they put it at the Jeff Keighley show. That was the world premiere announcement, and then they dropped it a week later.
Okay, yeah. So maybe they're saving it for the anniversary,
the 20th,
and then they launching
on PS5 Pro day.
Yeah.
So I mean, for marketing wise, it makes the most sense because, yeah, you have the big 1 year anniversary announcement, boom, and then on the day of the PS5 Pro, you got your PS5 Pro. Bring
the marketing bros back out.
Yeah, you got your free Spider-Man 2 PS5 Pro update to go with your PS5 Pro, and you'll have your DLC to go with the Pro update.
Yeah. The marketing bros will be like, but how are they gonna, like, nobody's gonna know, how are they gonna sell it?
Yeah, those fucking people are so dumb. Holy shit.
Like, it's literally like the only thing the Spider-Man people talk about at all is when's the DLC coming. So if they say, oh, the DLC is coming out tomorrow, trust me, the internet will know. Everybody will know.
Everyone in the world.
Everyone's gonna know.
Yes, we have phones, we have social media that allows us to instantly communicate with the world.
Yeah,
we have content creators who will broadcast that.
Yes, everybody will know.
Everyone will know. Like,
everyone was so worried about that marketing. This is not how you market it.
Yeah, everyone bought the fucking game.
Yeah.
So it worked. Yeah, but ideally though, the cleanest way, I think, I would agree that the cleanest way would be to announce it on the 20th and then release it on the 7th. That's the cleanest. I think that's the cleanest way to do it.
That's my prediction. Credit JayShockblast.
When it happens, I'll credit JayShockblast in the video.
And sort of Sadot the Gamer on the Aftershow podcast.
I mean, I did suggest the 1 year anniversary for sure.
So there we go. It's like where we both contributed to the idea. Credit JayShockblast. There you go.
There you go. Perfect. Yeah, and we can finally get people shutting the fuck up about.
No, because the second that comes out, they're gonna say, "Where's Wolverine?" When Wolverine? When Wolverine?
Oh well, first they're gonna say, "Who's Peter?" Who's Peter? Or if it's not free,
God of War gave it to us for free. It was free for God of War. All the skins were free. Why do I have to pay for it?
I don't care if Seeing That Never Sleeps costs money. It's a different game. I paid $70.
Yeah. Yeah, God, I don't know how people deal with that.
Like it's so fucking irritating. Holy shit! I already know. I hope it's $40. Fuck you.
We're all gonna pay it. Like it's gonna be good, and
yeah.
And then hopefully Insomniac won't have to like fire like 50 people for no reason, so that
ideally
Concord can come out.
Yeah. We'll root for that outcome, like, because we are, no matter how much it is, yeah, people are going to pay the money. They're gonna play it day one. They'll probably bitch about it, but they're going to pay the money.
Oh, they will bitch about it. It's not going to be PS5 Pro exclusive.
That's not a thing.
It would be funny if it was like, oh, get it a week early on PS5 Pro. I would love it if they did that just for the chaos.
Oh my god!
And because I'll have a PS5 Pro.
But no, yeah, I think legitimately it's just going to be like, yeah, get it, get your PS5 Pro and your free Spider-Man 2 update with the DLC. Maybe there'll be throwing some extra promotional shit for maybe they'll have Spider-Man 2 PS5 Pro bundle. Just for some extra promotion to encourage people to get in on the game. But yeah, I fully expect the DLC bare minimum to be $10 a piece. Could be free, but who knows? Hope it's 100K, only one version. I mean, that would pretty much only allow JayShockblast to play it.
Yeah, I wish. Have you seen photo mode in Death Stranding 2?
JayShockblast, I'll have you know, I was up at starting at 8 p.m. on a Saturday night, watching this live.
I've seen this video like 10 times, and it does not look like a video game. The girl on the left looks like a video game, but the other two, that looked video game-ish, but that is like the realest looking shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, I was watching it live. They had a couple. They were basically doing a lot of behind the scenes interviews, and then they would show footage. They showed this photo mode live. I was like, yeah, the graphics look fucking unbelievable. The dancing doll number was fucking bizarre, but that's classic Kojima. But yeah, getting to see the actual game, the visuals look insane. Is
this still just a FedEx delivery guy 2025?
I have literally no idea what the plot is. But it does involve a baby. It involves presumably walking around in spacesuits with Daryl. I don't know, but I just thought I was just there just to check out, see some new footage of Death Stranding 2, just and see what wild shit Kojima would pull off and
Yeah.
was not disappointed.
I have not played Death Stranding. It doesn't really interest me at all.
Same. Surprisingly, Travis is a Death Stranding enjoyer. Did not expect that. I think it's free on PlayStation Plus. I might pick it up ahead of the game, just to see if it's interesting. A PS Plus game. Yeah, I'll try. I'll try anything. Once if it's space, if I don't have to pay anything extra for it. It's just I'll give it a shot. Who knows? I might enjoy it, but I definitely expected to start out fairly slow. Bare minimum, but maybe it'll be a nice little vibe. Yeah, who knows? But definitely respect the visuals. I mean, holy shit. that looks like, yeah. Between that and Rise of Hydra, the visuals are getting kind of scary on some of these games.
I'm looking at a clip. Did he just post a clip, or I don't know? It's probably the same clip from.
Yeah, they're probably just sharing stuff from the show.
This is from yesterday.
Yeah, I watched. I watched most of the Tokyo. I didn't watch all of them. There was just certain stuff I was good at. I stayed up. I got up at 5:30 in the morning. Jay, you'll love this, for the Xbox showcase.
I was up too.
Yeah, and then I stayed.
It was okay. I mean, seeing Indiana Jones in Japanese was weird.
I actually thought it was fucking based, and I'm definitely going to use the Japanese version. Some of the other characters sounded funny, but Indiana Jones, the Japanese actor for Indiana Jones, sounded fucking awesome. I didn't know how much I needed Indiana Jones anime until that moment.
Yeah,
I'm here for it. Yeah. Then I stayed up an extra 4 hours for the Capcom event. I watched the Sparking Zero, the Silent Hill 2 one, Undefeated. We were just talking about that. Undefeated Genesis actually had a demo set up at Tokyo Game Show, and they dropped the basically 11-minute gameplay demo on their channel. So I reacted to that while I was waiting for the Monster Hunter presentation to start. Really, really good shit. I'm definitely looking forward to the new Undefeated game, and Monster Hunter Wilds still look great. They showed a couple boss battles. I think it's going to be really strong.
As far as this question, Kevin, I would not count on anything else. From what I understand, this is a game where everything that you're going to get is in the package. They're not supposedly doing DLC, but I think they should. I hope they do. So we'll see. I don't know.
It feels kind of like a situation, especially since it's a smaller studio, where they're going to kind of focus on, especially after the initial reception, we'll call it. They're probably going to try to focus on improving the game itself,
and then get the next one out.
Rather than just trying to pump out more DLC, because DLC is generally a case where it's like, okay, well, if they don't announce it ahead of time, it's probably something where it's like, okay, well, we'll see what the metrics are, we'll see how popular it is, and then we'll go forward with it. And I think that's probably the case. They're probably like, okay, well, didn't launch like we wanted it to, so they're going to spend a lot of time like improving it and seeing where it goes from there.
I will say this: there was one IP that was shown in trailers at some point that didn't make it in the game, and I do think it will eventually somehow, but that's as specific as I'd like to be.
Right.
For reasons.
Yeah, he's of course talking about Squirrel Girl.
Definitely not. It is wild though, and I feel bad for them because like everybody keeps hitting them with their like most wanted, and it's like, okay, do you guys not understand how licensing works? They said this was Universal NBC, so obviously it's got to be in that kind of realm, if you will.
Yeah, otherwise we're talking a lot of money.
Yeah, I will say this though, Team Fortress 2 is only on Steam, which makes sense because it's Valve.
Right.
But they did work out a big deal where they're going to be releasing it for free on Xbox and PlayStation. So that's something that Valve agreed to do, and that's kind of cool.
Shout out to Valve. Personally, I'm waiting for 9 days to release on PlayStation because I need another Superman simulator type of game. I need to complete the Trinity in my life, and then that'll hold me off until DC finally gets off their ass and it does something. So 9 days is more like Dragon Ball Z than Superman per se, but it just looks good fun. Just flying around the universe, blowing up planets. Just a good time. I'm looking forward to trying it. Whenever it comes to, hopefully if it comes to PlayStation. Yeah, superhero wise, DC. What are we thinking? Wonder Woman, the Game Awards.
Yeah, I think so.
That seems about right.
I think so.
It's about. I think yeah. When I said Wonder Woman 2025, people thought it was crazy, but that's the number that I've heard thrown around, and assuming nothing catastrophic happened with their development, which it shouldn't have. I mean, Monolith has been working on it for a while. They pulled WB Games Montreal off whatever they were doing to help as a support studio. I think Game Award announcement and then 2025 release, maybe later in 2025.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Capcom also, I think Resident Evil 9 gets announced at the Game Awards as well, and they have Capcom dropping Resident Evil 9 and Monster Hunter Wilds same year, which would be pretty crazy.
They haven't showed anything for Suicide Squad. They just said coming Tuesday. That's literally how many fucks they give.
They showed they showed the art for Lawless.
Yeah, that's it. It's like,
I mean, yeah. they showed in a previous DLC trailer, because they're not doing those fucking things anymore. They showed us the Gotham a little bit of the Gotham map, so we kind of know what the Gotham map will be like, and they'll probably. I mean, because they had a scaled down Mrs. Freeze rollout as well, so they'll probably show us some Lawless gameplay tomorrow, I imagine.
We'll see.
Yeah, just a little something.
We'll see. I'll be on as soon as it goes live, and Sadot and I'll try to link up, I'm sure, and so I can get that carry.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, I'll probably this time around. I'll probably just buy her, because we're pretty much at the end of the Suicide Squad life cycle. I've got Luther Bucks.
I think I do too.
I've got like 20. I think I've got like 2,700 Luther Bucks.
Yeah.
So I'll just buy her in the next battle pass, and I'll make it back.
Oh, I don't even think I came close to finishing this battle pass.
When they announced it, I realized, oh shit, I didn't finish the battle because I hadn't been playing in a while, and I just hopped on, and I was far enough where I was mainly concerned about getting the rest of Luther coin, and I'm pretty much at the end of the battle pass. I only played for only took me like an hour or so.
Oh wow!
And I'm pretty much at the end, so it's fine. I wasn't particularly worried because I'll be honest, the skins on the battle pass are fucking dog shit. I didn't like them at all.
We're gonna probably have all Batman style skins for this one, I would hope.
I was just in it for the Luther coin. So I'll definitely. Obviously, we're all going to be back for Deathstroke. I've been playing all the updates, but Deathstroke is definitely going to be one. People are.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if when Deathstroke comes out, they have their highest peak on like Steam ever?
They are. I just know they are. Because Deathstroke is like an actual character. A lot of people were interested in playing, and I think I don't know if they'll get to I don't know if they'll get past 13K. Yeah. But I think they'll definitely get get up there in numbers.
I think offline mode comes just at the end. Like,
I think it'll be like a Redfall situation where it's like, thank you for your support. Blah blah blah. We're ending blah blah, and then they'll just close it out with the offline update and peace out onto their parent Batman fucking game. I hope that rumor is not true. That's one rumor I hope is not true.
Yeah. But I mean, at the same time, that's what that's what, I don't know. They don't deserve a Batman game, but they don't. And I know that they don't want to make a Batman game because when I don't know if Lejeune talked to them about a Batman game at all when he was at the thing, but I wasn't going to, but Alan basically made me give the Batman Ninja pitch, and those dudes could not have been less interested. They did not give a shit.
Yeah, if they're going to do Batman, I hope they at least reach for Batman Beyond, because there's some bullshit.
Yeah, start fresh. You know what I mean? I'm actually fine with that too. That'd actually be really cool, a futuristic Batman Beyond game.
If they do Batman,
be okay with that.
If they do Batman Beyond, I won't bitch about it.
But you know that people are just gonna bitch about that too. I'm probably not as much.
No, because I legitimately see a lot of people ask for Batman Beyond games.
Yeah.
So I think what's going to happen is, you're going to have the usual people who, because there's always people who will have to whine about Arkham, but you're going to hear them get absolutely just shit on by the Batman Beyond fans.
Yeah.
if they bitch about it being a Batman Beyond game, so I won't have to do anything. I won't have to live. Because I don't care. Because I didn't want a Batman game to begin with, but if it's Batman Beyond and it makes the toxic Arkham fanboys mad, I'll take it as a W. Because I like Batman Beyond. I'll check it out, and if they're miserable, even better. That's a nice bonus. Definitely got to have the jump button in the Batman Beyond game, so Eastwood can experience it in its full potential. But actually, funny enough, I had made a tweet, a meme about how pretty much all the IPs are being neglected by Warner Brothers except Batman.
Yeah.
And I had a bunch of
I saw that.
I saw. So
I retweeted it.
I got an interesting reply.
Oh.
Someone said that they would love a Young Justice or Teen Titans game, and that someone works for 100 Star, the new studio started by Rocksteady founders Jamie and Septon.
Yeah, the two people that are as responsible for Suicide Squad as anybody else.
Indeed,
if not more.
Apparently they've got a Young Justice and Teen Titan enjoyer on staff.
Yeah, that doesn't necessarily mean anything, though.
Definitely not. I just thought it was fun that someone from 100 Star had commented on my post about how fucking DC fans are getting argued.
Well, that's another thing that I noticed. Sorry, I mean to cut you off. It's something along those lines is something I noticed in when we were talking about Funko Fusion earlier. Arthur Parsons put out a video, just a quick little update. And as they're showing video, they zoom in on a Naruto Funko Pop on someone's desk. And then on another angle, they zoom in on a Sonic the Hedgehog pop on someone else's desk. And so naturally everybody's like, oh.
Yeah, of course.
So it doesn't necessarily mean anything. It could just be, that's just happens to be their desk,
But it could also not. It could also be something because they knew what they were doing.
Yes. Listen, I think that would be a big deal.
Oh, that'd be a huge deal. I would definitely jump into Funko Fusion. Appreciate the $4.99, Kev. Don't know if this is true, but we'll have a God of War map, and that game has some free roam. Be smaller. Without getting. I mean, we've pretty much heard this probably since 2021. I know Jeff Grubb had some initial intel about Wolverine targeting an M rating. It's going to be semi-open world, that's why I got the God of War comparisons. It's not going to be a fully open world game like Spider-Man, like the Spider-Man games, where it's going to be definitely more linear.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier, 30 and Still Gaming. We were like, when I gave the pitch, like I always like started off with, "This is yours, it's free." So I don't think we're getting a Batman Ninja game. I mean,
if it was, I'd laugh my ass off.
yeah, like I'm just saying, I would only say, listen, just put my name in the credits. I'd take that.
I will mention JayShockblast.
Let me voice an NPC.
I can voice, or let me voice Bruce Wayne. I can be the new Batman. I could be the voice of Batman Ninja. I've been working on my Batman impression.
Where is she?
Where is she? Where is the trigger? Where is she? Where is she? I like, yeah. I've been trying to do I'm trying to learn the Kevin. I got the Christian Bale one down, but I've been trying to get the Kevin Conroy, the classic Kevin Conroy one.
Oh my god, I can't believe that. All right, first of all, I stopped reading the comments on my my video I put out for the Lawless announcement. But like, I couldn't believe that there was people in those comments that were still saying, "I can't believe they wasted Kevin Conroy on this." What, you mean the project that he signed up to get paid for, and that he is reported to have loved being a part of?
Yes, that.
Like, it's a shame that they held a gun to his head and made him record this game. I can't believe we're still having that conversation.
I mean, that's just cope. Like, when they say that, they mean that they personally are mad that Kevin Conroy was a part of the game that they didn't play.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it actually is. Yeah, they're narcissists inherently. They don't care about Kevin Conroy, because if they did, they would know he wanted to play this role. He loved the idea of evil Batman. Evil Batman. He enthusiastically took this role and loved it.
Yep.
Well, those are always there. It's Twitter.
Yeah, I was like kind of rolling with it for a while, and then, like, I don't know. I was like, you know what? I know I'm just gonna respond to all these people, so I'm gonna like stop reading the comments.
Yeah. I didn't even say anything beyond. I just a quote tweet and said, "Oh, that escalated quickly," but I did make a video about it, and that's about it. That's about it. Yeah. But so far, yeah, comments have been about what I expect. Nothing too crazy in response to that video, because it's like, yeah, people are obviously disappointed that this is what they chose for the DLC character for the Gotham map. But maybe I forgot. I know Miller told me what her power set was, or what her traversal is, but I fucking forgot.
I was hoping it was honestly literally a clone of her dad. I'm fine with that.
No,
it probably won't be.
I know it's not a clone. I gotta dig. I'll dig and see what just to get a refresher on what she does. But yeah, we'll see. I'm also curious which Justice League member we're gonna save next and put in the box next to the Flash.
I am gonna guess John Stewart.
I guess Batman.
I feel like they save him
For Deathstroke.
Yeah.
Definitely could be. You've never heard of Lawless?
Join the club.
There's a good reason for that. I actually did a little digging for my video. So Lawless isn't an original character. Their version of Lawless effectively is, but yeah, he's basically a Z-list member of the Suicide Squad. He was like a middle-aged white guy with no connection to Deadshot, and they just remixed him to be their version of Deadshot's daughter. for reasons.
DEI.
Woke. I fucking love fucking love that can't be a clip. I use it all the time. It's a great rant. It's a great rant. Like I respected that rant, but yeah, it's so that part woke. It's always so fucking funny.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we preface everything by saying these aren't the choices we would have made, but it's what they did. So this is what we got, you know?
Yeah.
And I just, you know,
yeah,
I just don't like, I can't take the people that like root for Rocksteady's downfall. You know, it's like, oh my God, they made a game for the first time in the last 20 years that didn't hit. All right. Like, relax, chill.
Yeah, but it's not like, but they were shitting on Rocksteady for Arkham Knight anyway, so that's why I just don't take these people seriously. I just at all. I just look at it like oh well, Suicide Squad was a big miss, and after reading the Schreier article, I'm like, okay, well, now we know why, and not knowing that they're going to move in on a single player game with fresh new leadership. Now I'm just more like curious to see how they bounce back, what the new leadership looks like, if they're going to what mistakes they learn from, and go from there. I'm really rooting for them to come back.
Yeah, I would love for them to do anything but Batman, but I also would love for them to do something just safe and get their money and get like back situated.
Batman Beyond, the best is the best answer.
I feel like that should be safe, but like, I don't know.
I feel like it's safe. It's a Batman game.
We thought Gotham Knights would be safe, though.
Did we?
I think so. It was Nightwing and it was Batgirl. And it was Robin.
I didn't think it would be safe. So my thinking was that, okay, well, the game I looked at it as like the game looks fun. The only reason I thought like conceptually it was just something I'm interested in, but I didn't think like, oh, this is going to be a can't miss game, because it's like it's not a Batman game and literally Batman's dead. But what I thought was going to happen is that they're basically going to tell the Court of Owls story where Batman is corrupted, and then they bring him back, and then you get to play as Batman at the end. And I was looking at the metrics, so I knew there was like Gotham Knights had a lot of heat, and as long as they delivered, it would have a feature, keep putting out content. But unfortunately, they kept Batman dead, had some launch issues, and for whatever reason, they just didn't commit to the DLC and just kind of let it go. According to WB execs, it did hit their sales expectations, but it didn't. I'm presuming it didn't blow them away. Otherwise, it would have got new content. So at the very least, it didn't lose them money, but just ended up being a situation of missed potential. Definitely, clearly was some development mismanagement problems. I mean, you don't have a game that announces it's coming out on PS4 and Xbox One, and then 5 months before launch, oh, actually, it's going to be on current gen. Like there was obviously they started on a full loot system that got kind of abandoned halfway through. So there was obviously some mismanagement going on, but hopefully they end up getting everything together.
Almost 2 years to the day. This was
WB Games.
My little visit to WB Games for Gotham Knights.
Yeah, it was that game I really wanted to do well, because it was great for the channel, and it's still a fun game. Patrick ended up, he was a creative director. Shout out to Patrick. He ended up going to Ubisoft. Oof.
Got to see all these murals around town. That was cool.
Hopefully he's okay. But yeah, I wonder if they've hired a creative director yet. I know they were still looking for one.
Also, while we were there, we went to this place that still exists in Canada. It was so weird. And while we were at Toys R Us, That's when Ryan Reynolds announced that they were doing Deadpool and Wolverine.
And yeah, it turned out to be a moment for the record books.
Yeah. So where I made my caboose face with caboose.
Canceled it. I'm fine with that staying canceled, to be honest.
You know what's really cool though? I don't know if people remember this, but there was actually I think it was for Arkham Knight. There was a Batmobile collector's edition that was supposed to come out.
Yeah.
And when we were walking through, we actually saw it. And I didn't know about this, but Caboose asked about it, and he was like, so what happened with that? Why did it get canceled? And the story is heartbreaking and crazy.
Did it get lost in the ocean?
It got lost in the ocean. It literally was on its way over from China or wherever on a shipping container. The shipping container fell off the boat and sank to the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, so some rich guy with a submarine wants to make some money.
And the cost involved was just too much. And I think they had already broken the mold at the place, which apparently is a thing that actually happens often. Like they'll break the molds.
Wow, great call there.
Yeah.
But
I understand that it probably happens more than you think, but it's just crazy when it was that one,
Yeah. Personally, there are plenty of other DC projects I would rather work on or revive if we're talking about canceled ones, and just ones that they haven't touched on yet that I think would just make better games. Like, yeah, I understand people love their Bat family, but there's so much more to DC than the Bat family.
Yeah. I agree.
I promise you, Batman fans, you'll be able to enjoy these other games if you just let them step outside from Batman for once, please, for the love of God. But if you're going to, don't. If you're going to do a Teen Titans or a Young Justice, please, for the love of God, don't give them guns.
Yeah, I think they've learned their lesson. They hopefully.
I mean, we say that, but it's just crazy how studios make the same fucking mistakes every time. like it doesn't make. I don't understand. It just is. It just somehow keeps happening. But we'll wrap it up there. Appreciate everyone hanging out once again. Had a great time. Great crazy weekend gaming. October is next week, so things are going to be popping off once again. Starfield, Spark and Zero's coming soon. We got Suicide Squad on Tuesday, so
I'll be playing Starfield tomorrow.
I will not be, but I'll pop in and say hi, and it should be a good time. Hopefully, me and JayShockblast's joint prediction comes true, and we get the Spider-Man 2 announcement at the 1-year anniversary.
Yeah, a lot of this is gonna be a big month. I think there's a lot of stuff going on.
A lot of potential there.
I'm hoping to get down to New York for New York Comic Con on the 18th, which is a Friday, and I will definitely be in New York the week before. And yeah, stuff going on.
And I hope I get early access to the Veilguard because I definitely want to play that.
Yeah, I gotta email whoever I talked to about that. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, the one. I applied for the EA Creator Network, but
I don't think they're ever updating that.
Yeah, but I don't have. Yeah, for some reason I have all these emails. I don't have anyone at EA.
Yeah, I'll look through my email and find, because somebody from EA emailed me about that back then, back for Summer Game Fest. So I'll try to reach out to them and see what's up, and I'll hit you with. I'll give you their email.
Please and thank you. All right, we'll catch y'all next time. I'm Sadot the Gamer.
I'm not Casual Avenger.
Zip it up. Zip it up and zip it out. Peace, my naysayers.
The stage is set, the night ignites beyond the screen, where drinks they fly. Hear the call, we'll let you loose. Let everyone respiration. Welcome to the Aftershow, where stories intertwine. The pulse of gaming, the culture's greatest stride. With every click and sound, the heartbeat of our dream. We dive into the desert pasture. Let's exceed. Turn it all down, yeah. The Aftershow begin. Our soldiers got the spotlight. We're getting never ends. Passion on a passion. The topics